Let me start with some numbers. Every year, roughly 520 men take their own life. That's about 43,000 a month, 10,000 a week, and 1,400 a day, and roughly 60 men every hour. And somewhere in the world, they're choosing to end their pain the way that they believed they could. And here's the part that should sit with you. Most of the men are between 15 and 45. That means that not only just older generations, but also people like me, people of your age and my age, people sitting next to you right now, and you might met them, and it could be every fourth or fifth man that you see today. And in 2026, in a world that connected even more, both men and women struggles with mental health. But here's the difference. Women generally have more permission, more language, and more social space to say, I'm not okay. Men's though, we raised differently. From the childhood, we thought that crying is a show of weakness. You have to be strong, don't feel, don't need to anyone. Showing emotion makes you a crybaby. And that belief, that one belief, is killing us. Quietly, slowly, every hour. And I want to talk about this because how it actually happens, not how movies shows us, but how it really happens. People imagine suicidal person as in someone visibly falling apart, a crying, screaming, obviously broken, but often it's the opposite. Psychology call it a smiling depression. When someone functions normally, jokes with friends, come up to work, but inside they are slowly disappearing. It's not anger, it's not even sadness in the way we usually picture it, but it's more like hiding it behind the curtains. No one sees it, and not your best friend, not your family, not even the most loved person in the world would know this. The only person who sees it, it's the person who hiding it behind it. He understands it. And that moment, that person who truly believes that no one cares about him, that no one would even notice about him, that's when it can reveal itself in the most ugliest form we know as a suicide. And how do I know this? Because I was the person. I'm a survivor of an attempt. I carry a scar on my wrist. I don't know if you can see it, but here there is. I mean, it's not visible in the camera, but it's not that big, but it carries a bigger meaning to me and bigger story behind it. I remember that day like it was yesterday, and the room, the silence, the weight on the air. The pain wasn't only physical, it was more deeper. It's like more psychological way. In philosophy, there is a concept sometimes called a ego death, a moment where part of your identity, your sense of feeling, your sense basically saying it, simply stop existing. That the closest I can describe to you is what happened that day. My heart didn't stop, but something died in that day, in that room, something that was in me. And that thing is in my mind. And looking over the parts of me that went missing, my will to live, my emotion, my reason to keep going just disappeared. It took me over 2.5 years to just start finding those pieces again. And I'm still finding it, but I'm in the right road, I can tell it. That happened actually back in 2024. It was spring. I had been struggling with depression about 3 years that days, and without really understanding it, when or what was happening to me. I used to joke a lot, like when I hit 19 or 18, I'll be dead. And I said it so often that it almost became a silly joke. But behind that joke was a really, really terrifying reality to me. And that spring, I was completely alone for 2 weeks because my mom and sister went to another city to my siblings' wedding, and my dad was away from work. So I was alone for 2 weeks, battling myself with the sickness of my emotions, sickness of my mental health. And the only thing that kept me anchored, it was my best friend. He was like a wall to me. But during these days, during these 2 weeks of loneliness and that 2 weeks of being alone basically made that wall disappeared, or I would say shattered. I won't walk you through every detail of that night. What I will say that in that moment when I did it with a knife to my wrist, I saw something like flashing back to my memories. I saw good things, playing with my best friend outside. I was little, my family, my mom. Moments of laughter that were real, not like sadness or something like that. And in that moment, I screamed loud. I rushed to the kitchen, I grabbed the thickest towel I would find and wrap around my wrist and hold it into my chest, and I just cried. I cried like a little girl that day. I cried a lot, I screamed a lot, and I remember that room because it was covered in on my juice. Like everywhere was red, and it was surreal to me that I was still alive. I survived that day. But afterwards, something changed within me. Not my body, but my mind. And I started asking questions that I have never asked before. Why I am here? What's my purpose? Who am I really? I'll be honest, out of maybe 100 questions that I asked myself, I only answered one. But it's okay, because answering this one question has actually changed my life. I became a teacher. I'm 20 years old, the youngest teacher in my group, in my class as well, in my school as well. And yes, the teacher's job is hard. There is paperwork, deadlines, low hum, all of that jazz. But every single day, I walk into the classroom and I see kids' face lighting up. Not because of my lesson is easy or something like that, but they feel safe enough to relax, to learn, and actually to play and ask any questions. And in that moment, I realized that's my purpose. Bringing joy, being a person who you can feel safe enough, being kind. That's my purpose. Because if there is one thing that I learned from nearly losing myself and losing everything, that kindness is the most underrated superpower that human can have. Now let's talk about something really quietly rewriting how we see the new generation, how we see ourselves, and the thing that slowly killing us, basically saying it, social media. Think about it. We wake up and before, even getting out of bed, we scroll. We watch someone else's gym progress, dream relationship, vacation, glow-ups, cars, their perfect life, and endless highlight reels stacked on another like an endless parade. And what we do? Obviously we compare. We compare ourselves with other person. We compare our morning bed, our morning hair, our anxious waking up with someone else's perfectly lit, perfectly posted or post, and 10 takes later selfies. We're comparing our real life with someone else's TikTok or reel, and somehow every single time we are the one who feels like we are shit, we are losing it. And especially for the men, this hit different, because not only you have to hide your feeling, your emotion from people around you, but also you have to perform your strengths, your entire masculinity, I don't know why, to the internet. Be Jack, be successful, be unshakable 24 hours a day to 1,000 people like me, like you, like others. Here's the wildest part though. Everybody doing this. Everybody trying to be a coach, everybody trying to be, that face of a man that who are strong, who are unshakable, which is cool, yes, but you don't have to compare yourself with him, because his road is different than yours and your road is different than his. So you don't have to compare, but still we do. We are all comparing our behind scenes to everyone else's reels and TikToks, and it's exhausting and it's isolating us. And honestly, it's a lie we are all participating in together. Actually, so here's a thought. What if instead of comparing, we started being honest? What if your honesty becomes someone else's permission to finally take their mask off? So here's what I want to leave you with. We spend so much energy trying to look like we are okay. We're filtering our pain, performing our strength, and hiding behind the curtains. That we forget something simple. Everyone is fighting. The stranger next to you, your best friend, your dad, even the person who's talking to you right now is fighting something within himself. And the world doesn't need men who are unbreakable, unshakable. We have plenty of them, don't worry about this. We need men who are more honest. Asking for help is not the end of your story. It's the moment that your story actually makes sense. I'm proof of that. 2.5 years ago, I'd be dead. I thought my story was gone, done. Today I stand in front of you as a teacher who entire job to make other people feel like a little less alone, a little more seen. And that's the message I want to give you to everybody, every man actually, that you don't have to be strong all the time. You have just to be honest, to let in someone into your life. Okay. Today I stand in front of you as a teacher whose entire job to make other person his time a little more seen, make him a little more less alone. And that's the message I want to give every man in the world. You don't need to be strong every time. You just need to be honest enough to let someone in. And because somewhere out there, actually, in the world, your story, that one story that you think it's nothing, it's just boring, no one cares, might be exactly the story that other person needs to hear to keep going on. So, be kind, be honest, and be human. Thank you. And don't forget one thing. You are not alone. I am here, who lived, who still alive. You are also here. You're still alive. That's your main reason to keep going on. Not for someone else's, but for yourself as well. Don't forget that you're not alone. There is a lot of people who are actually ready to help you. There is a lot of people who are actually ready to hear you, including me. So, if you're right now during the men's mental health months, have a trouble, issues, problem, there is a number that you can call. There is a people outside in the streets who you can talk. There is literally a person in front of you right now that you can talk with him. So, be honest, be kind, and be human, okay? That's my message that I want to give to you. Have a good life, my internet friend.